Hi everybody, BL here, hoping that you're doing well, working on the pieces to your puzzle. I'm going to try again here to get something out about the protests and the George Floyd situation and the continual murder of our people. Um, a couple of reasons for my delay. At onset, spirit didn't sit right, and those of you who know, when spirit don't sit right, I don't say too much. I just take note, just watch, 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 and wait until things come together for me before I can share it with others. And then, of course, there's the usual efforts. Like now, I got this plane flying over. Uh, don't see them, I hear them. Uh, yeah. At any rate, so technical stuff. Trying to did a video, uploaded it for whatever reason. YouTube won't process it and let it post. Another time, 100% battery went drained within 15 minutes. Little stuff like that. So they're whatever. But I've got this video trained on this little pomegranate tree I've been trying to grow, and I chose this particular tree because pomegranate is, it's a symbol of life. It's a symbol of fertility, of power, blood and death, and the Greeks, the Persians, or whoever it was back then. Um, yeah, they used it for, it represented beauty and eternal life to them. And so that's what I want to send to you all. And thus, I trained on the pomegranate today. But Mr. Floyd, and I can take this in two different directions. My emotions, or I can remove the emotion and try to just be straight analytical about it. Um, this particular video is going to attempt to remove the emotions and stay analytical with it. Uh, but as I already said, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like a setup. It feels like almost like a burning building that's been lit, and the flames have been fanned and fanned, and there's a pathway walking straight into the building, and we're being directed onto that path to go straight into that burning building. Um, and that's just my gut. When I look at that photo of this officer, Chauvin, whatever his name is, the still photo where he looks up, he actually, now his buddy Tao uh, does a job in trying to position his body so that whomever is filming can't get a good video, but someone is able to get a good enough video. And I see Chauvin at one point actually look up. It's like he's posing, and then he has his hand in his pocket. He's comfortable. I'm gonna talk about that hand in a minute, but that image, that still image says, I don't care. It hints of callousness, of intentional hurt, of determination, of assumed power and authority that he has to be able to do that. Like he's got the life. He's God himself, and he has the ability, the power and the authority to save a life or take a life, and no care in the world about it. That's what I see when I look at that still picture. And then I ask myself, if you're in the middle of a situation and you've got several officers with you, if you're the primary or the lead or whatever it is officer that's doing what you're doing, then why do you have to look up or look around or anywhere else? You got other officers to have your back for that towel. That's your brother-in-law. He's your brother-in-law. So he's your partner because y'all rode up there together. You ride together. That's your partner. So he got your back. So why do you need to look up? Why not just focus on what you're doing? Makes me wonder if he wasn't looking up just because it's a setup and he's taking a great picture for the cameras. His comfort in doing it. It's like, I have no sympathy in this, and I'm comfortable doing it. Is that because of the thin blue line? Is that because people gonna cover for you, and you'll get away with it? Or is it, because you're just a nut, you messed up in the head? Is that? Or is it because it was planned? And you knew that when you did this, it was going to spark rage, it was going to spark protest, it was going to spark all those emotions that people have been trying to keep under control. Just gotta wonder. Then I look at and then when you look at the videos, you see these paramedics that show up. One actually, does a pulse, but other than that, and so he knew at that moment what was going on with that man. And to me, when I saw them lift their head drop, the way his upper body just sagged down, he had already lost consciousness. He was, I don't know whether he was alive or not, but he had already lost consciousness. He did not have the conscious ability to control his head or anything. And so they took his pulse when they finally got there. But did you notice their clothes? Those wasn't regular EMTs. I don't know what the hell they were. And the last time I saw, ambulance drivers don't roll around dressed up looking like some form of variation or version of the police. It almost make me wonder if it's not them UN officers, because the uniform was a little different. It was brown. But he's still armored up and got all the stuff on. It's not regular EMT, y'all. And then as well in the video, so that's the ambulance, excuse me. So they call for fire department to send paramedics. What's the difference? Well, let me not say that, because I know there's a difference between the ambulance and the paramedics. But why did they call for the fire department to send paramedics? To cover their butts? Because they knew he was already being carted off by someone else to wherever. Also, again, I look at the location. Here we have yet another man down, dead, supposedly. And it's the man they say it is. But we don't have good video or pictures to confirm that is exactly, in fact, who they say it is. We don't have a full body picture to be able to even say how long the man was. You got all those officers on him like that. So we can't even ascertain where the head starts, the feet start, or whatever. And that's the video from the other vantage point. It's far enough away, can we say for sure that's him? Just saying. We look at Nipsey, and as a matter of fact, I won't start calling him because I done miss somebody, and that's not my intent to miss anyone or diss anyone. The intent is just to bring light to the fact that these situations are happening and there's a pattern with them. Do you see the pattern of them being in some half obstructed position to where you can't get a full view of the actual person? Also look at the vehicle. The vehicle has police, a personalized police on the back of its vehicle. Why is that? What makes him, if it's legitimate, then what makes him special, whoever has that particular vehicle, to have a personalized tag? Why is that? Whose vehicle was that? I don't know whose vehicle it was, because I didn't look at the videos enough to try to ascertain which vehicle went to which officers. But whoever was driving that vehicle, I would wonder then, are there someone in some sort of a hierarchy or some kind of authority there that they're able to have that personalized tag? And if that's the case, that makes matters worse, because you have someone that definitely should know better, but this is going on. I look at the fact that Floyd and Chauvin knew each other. They supposedly worked together. Floyd is, security industry, whatever, they used to work together at some point in the past, so they knew each other. It's just, it's too many questions, if you will. I look at the fact that Chauvin and Tao, that the Asian officer that was standing there, Chauvin is married to Tao's sister, who suddenly now wants a divorce, because you want to protect yourself and protect the assets and all that other stuff. That's what that's about. That's not about, oh, he's such a bad man, I want to get rid of him, get away. Well, let me not say that, because I don't know all of the background. But from what I see, I feel like it's not about he's such a bad man, now you want to get away. Because he's had, what, 17, almost 20 different complaints. He's killed before. He's been involved in multiple officer shootings before. So you knew he was a bad man for some time. Now you're going to separate yourself from him. Why? So that you can take all the assets, move it all over to your name, dissociate yourself with him legally. And so when he takes the fall publicly, there's nothing they can gain from him. Put him in jail, but there's no resources anybody can sue and get. But yet he's still able to access those by way of you. And at this point, y'all boyfriend and girlfriend instead of husband and wife. I'm just saying, I don't know that's the case, but that's, where my mind goes with stuff like that. This is so blatant, it's so intentional, it's so, I can't even think of the word right now, but it just feels wrong. Yes, it's wrong to murder, but it feels wrong in that I don't believe this was like a happenstance, like, circumstance, just opportunity, and they took advantage of it. I almost want to say it was a plot, a ploy, or whatever, because then my next question is, if Floyd supposedly used a fake $20 bill to buy whatever it was he was buying, the video shows where the people from the store come out and talk to him about two young boys, not even an older man or anything, two younger people come out to question him about this fake $20 bill allegedly. And he's allegedly drunk and all of that. And then they allegedly didn't call the police until, 4 or 5 minutes later after, they left. Why was he still sitting there? If he was passing fake money, why was he still sitting there? If he was drunk and he knew, he was in jeopardy of getting in trouble or whatever, why did he still remain? Why didn't he just drive off? Why didn't the guy in the car with him just drive off? But they stayed there, so probably wasn't a fake bill, or we don't know what. All of that, and actually the body cams from the officers and the audio would probably give us a little bit better idea, as well as the 911 call. But bottom line, and then there's talk about this not being Floyd, the doctor in Texas. He's from Houston, so a doctor in Texas had said he knew him personally and that wasn't him. I don't know, because I didn't know him personally. I do know someone that did know him personally. I've not been able to speak with them directly, and I'm not doing social media for certain things. So whenever I'm able to be in that person's presence, or we can communicate more clearly and more, what's the word I want to say? Not safely, discreetly or securely, then, I'll raise it. But here's the deal. We have all these protests going on. The protests start nonviolent. They start peaceful. But then somehow they switch to violence and destruction, into riots. Has anyone looked at a lot of the actual perpetrators of the violence and the riotous acts? Has anyone like me noticed generally the skin tone of those people? Has anyone noticed that they tend to be dressed and armed, ready for this type of event? Helmets, gas masks, not the little BS mask, little cloth around the mouth, but full gas mask, walkie-talkies, not cell phones, but walkie-talkies, which allow direct communication. It's not monitored. Well, it could be monitored, but it's not recorded like all of our cell phones. And they can go ahead and shut the cell phone network down, but those walkie-talkies still work. So, just, those are the things I think about. And then the other guy, he comes out with I had wondered, where they getting all these bricks from? Bricks are heavy. I use bricks in my garden to weight stuff down that I need to weight down from the wind. So they're heavy. So who's walking around protesting with bricks in their backpack? No, I showed you the video. In 2 different places, they found stacks of bricks in certain neighborhoods. There's no construction going on, all of that. How the heck a oil tanker truck get through Supposedly the police got the highway blocked off, 35 out there in, oh, wherever it was. Don't get me the line. The Interstate 35, police supposedly got it blocked off. So how this big old 18-wheeler truck get through? And he's barreling down. I see the horse. The woman got run over by the horse. That wasn't no damn accident either. Anybody that ride horses could see that. First of all, the man had spurs on the back of his the back of his foot, shoe, boot, whatever he had on. You can use your leg. You can use sound, noises, in addition to the reins to control your horse, depending on how that horse has been trained. So a kick in the spur with the spur, into his side will get that horse to moving. A little sound, something like that, will get that horse to moving. So it's not always a matter of whether the reins are pulled or let loose. But, and the other reality is you're on a damn horse. You know your horse is going to be around with other horses and a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of tension. They work on energy also. So, horses are subject to get spooked and start kicking. Why would you even go that close to someone unless you had clearance? And I'm sorry, but you sitting up high. You can't see that woman standing in front of you. Anybody else can see her. But, just, it's almost as if this is being fanned. The fire, the flames of this burning building is being fanned. They're continually, every day, fanning the flames, fanning the flames, fanning the flames, because they want something. Now, that's what you got to ask yourself. When you start being strategic, you ask yourself, all of these things are occurring. Why are they occurring? A, we know the people are crooked. We know they're evil, da-da-da. We know that. But we also know that that's been the case for a long time. So the fact that they're doing these things now so blatantly, so wantonly, so nonchalant, so callously, so, that means there's a mission, there's a motive, there's a goal, there's an objective. Now start asking yourself, what is that mission, that motive, that objective? What is that goal? Does that goal work for you? Most likely not. So now you have to think differently, do differently. Still accomplish your goal, but do it differently. Don't feed into them. Don't give them what they want and still work to get what you want. I mean, the reality is these protests have to happen. They have to happen. Too much has gone on for too daggone long. They have to happen. Be strategic in how you do it. At the same time, be strategic in what you're doing when you're not protesting. Be strategic. Position yourself. Reality is, they've been looking for a reason to march for martial law for the longest. Now, we all been cooped up on this supposed COVID thing. Immune system's been compromised. Well, they were compromised prior to that, but they're even more compromised. We're walking around with these masks on, breathing in more carbon dioxide, further deoxygenating ourselves, compromising our physical bodies, and we're also compromising our brain power to think more clearly and rationally. People lost their, losing incomes, whatever the case may be, don't know, the uncertainties of everything that's going on. So we're going to think, not necessarily irrationally, but not necessarily think the best. That's the time when people act. And maybe one of the goals is to get people to act so they can go ahead and call it martial law. And at that point, they have total 100% full control. They can walk in and do whatever they want. They can walk in your house and shoot you dead if they want to. All they gotta do is say, oh, you were threatening national security, or you weren't following instructions. And it won't be a second look taken at it. Then they can come and take whatever you got. So all of y'all who done bought up all them MREs thinking, you're going to be okay for a minute when stuff go down, who coming to get them MREs? Think about it. All the water, and for those of you who had the resources and ordering up hundreds and hundreds of cases of water you got stashed somewhere, don't think your stuff ain't going too. I'm not going to tell you all, don't protest, don't fight back, don't respond. I mean, don't give a response. You have to. I just want you to look at all the information and act wisely, act strategically. Also, ask yourself, why is it that we ain't heard too much from all the reds and the blues, all them folk that back and forth in Washington, the ones we hear about all the time, and then on top of that, even at the local level, you're not hearing too much. You're hearing a lot from sheriffs, and you got these officers that are kneeling and stuff like that or whatever, but you're not hearing every 5 minutes this governor's here, this representative's here, this senator's here. Say, you're not hearing all of that. Why is that? I can't answer you why, but I just need you to pay attention. Silence is what? As far as I'm concerned, when you're silent on an injustice, then you're in agreement with that injustice. You're complicit. You're an ally to it. You're and I shouldn't be laughing. Sometimes we laugh when we want to cry, yell, scream, and everything else. Something else I want to share with you. Keep in mind all the stuff you are seeing on television and social media. These people can pull the plug anytime they want to. So the fact that they're allowing this stuff to continue to be out there, ask yourself why. Don't fall for everything you see and hearing hook, line, and sinker. Because they're allowing it to be out there, which means it must serve them some purpose. CNN is great in some things I've seen, but CNN is almost, 23 and a half hours out the day. This is what they're on. So they're keeping your mind in that. They're keeping your mind enraged. And those who haven't gotten enraged yet, they're getting them enraged. They're stirring it up, whether they realize it or not. Now, yes, the information does need to be out there. I think there need to be some breaks in it. But, that's just me. The social media people who have these followings on the different platforms, yeah, show your information, discuss the information, put it out there. But remember, they got a large if they have a large following and they're allowed to continue sharing their information, you got to wonder about them. Not saying they're all bad or wrong or whatever, but you have to wonder, because the powers that be don't want any good information to come to you. They don't want any beneficial information to come to you. So if they're allowing stuff to come out and to remain, you got to ask yourself, if it's beneficial, then there's another gotcha behind the scenes that you don't know about. If it's not beneficial, then there it is. They're letting some, non-beneficial information out there for you. Question it. Question everything. I'm going to tell my kids in the schools, question everything. Now, that doesn't mean you jump up in somebody's face and demand they answer, but you don't have to take what they say as truth 100% lock, stock, and barrel. That's what I mean by question. And you keep going until you get what you feel like is the truth and the right answers. For those of you who are going to go out there, guard yourself, prepare yourself. If you can, take you some milk. Take your earplugs. Get your helmets. If you don't have a helmet, a welder's helmet, I don't care, a construction hat, whatever. Prepare yourself. Because you're going out there and people are not going to necessarily use methods that are best for you when they're, when you're confronting them. And then some troublemakers out there. So they may excite things or incite things to a level that you didn't even, you did not go with the intent to be a part of, but you're in it. So there's heat-resistant gloves. Make sure you write with ink or permanent marker or something that's going to stay beyond, some water and perspiration and stuff. The numbers of a couple of attorneys, or the legal defense funds that are being posted all over the place that will assist your mama, your grandmama, brother, sister, husband, wife, whoever it is that you need to call. And not just one, put multiple numbers, Because you never know. You might not be able to get through to one. You can get through to somebody else or whatever. Um, Women, tie up your hair. The last thing you need to be doing is in the middle of something, then, your hair. Because we know when something pulls our hair, where the head goes, the body will follow. So if something pulls your hair in one direction, your body is going there instead of where you really want it to go. Keep that in mind. Tie that hair, braid it up, whatever you got to do. Keep it to where it's not flying all over the place. Wear comfortable shoes, closed-toed shoes. Again, you don't know what you're walking into. Go prepared for battle, basically. Go prepared for battle. I didn't say take any weapons with you, but the rest of your body should be prepared for battle. Make sure you have some cash, some change, loose change, quarters or dimes, nickels, whatever it is, but cash money, and ID card. Don't take your whole wallet. No, we don't need the Prada purse. We don't need the Gucci purse, all of that. You need an ID card or driver's license, whatever it is. Just one. That's all you need. You don't even need a debit card, because let's be real. What ATM you finna start hitting and pulling money out while you out there call yourself protesting? Leave the ATM card at home. And thankfully, I will say that all of mine, my children that I've adopted or acquired in some kind of way, finally, they're no longer guests of the county. They've been released. But guys, just bottom line, just think there are too many things that just don't sit right with this. The personalized tag, the two lead officers that we can see in these pictures and videos ride together. One is married to the other one's sister. They have, between the two of them, over 30 complaints. And these include officer shootings, even fatalities. The one was sued personally. If he paid with fake bills but he didn't leave, he stayed on the scene. And his hand, his hand. That hand stayed in that pocket. Had to wonder about that hand. I thought about it. Okay, so what are you doing with that hand that is staying in your pocket? It's as if, are you using that hand to apply additional pressure into your leg? Because if you watch the video, you see it's almost as if he's intentionally trying to position that knee to shut off that carotid artery. That's what it looks like to me. And just the maneuvering of it. Is he using his hand to help add pressure to it? I don't know. Is he using his hand because he might have some electronic device that is sending some sort of electrical signals into the body of Mr. Floyd? And I continue to say Mr. Floyd. I go with that because that's what's out there. But I'll be honest with you, I've got a question as to whether that was really him. And I don't know all of everything. That's just my question. It's sad that we've come to this, but we know we had to get here. Is this the end all and do all? No. Nope. But be strategic. Be strategic when you go out to protest. Be strategic in how you're handling your funds. And as far as I'm concerned, we done said it before and we say it again. Spend your money with us. Barter and trade with each other. If you need a lawnmower, find somebody, one of us that don't need their lawnmower, that's selling it. Or they might be in a tight and they trying to get rid of it because they need the money. Instead of letting them take it to a pawn shop where they ain't gonna get but a couple dollars off of it, and the pawn shop gonna turn around and flip it and make bukus of dollars off of it, sell it to another one of us. So you're paying a little less, they're still getting the money they need, everybody's needs are met. Grow your food. If you're growing food, and start sharing with each other. Selling if you have to, you can turn it into a business. If I grow cucumbers, then you know what? Everybody on my block, $5 for a bag of cucumbers, I don't know, or $2 for a bag of whatever. But do as much as you can to keep the money within us and to further empower us. And stay safe. Stay safe. That's all I can say at this point. I'm going to do a separate video on the emotional side of this, because this one kind of took me, and there are a lot of things that I see from an emotional perspective, and it may help people to understand, especially those who can't understand why we're having the protests or why it's the level of anger that it is. The other video is going to delve into that. for those who seem to have their head under a rock. Uh, be well, take care, and bless you.